How can we apply the statistics in business? Is auditing. Yeah, auditing will be you will take a look at all the balance sheet or the bunch of numbers, how much money we spend there or here. Um, that's auditing also. So one application area in the statistics, and also marketing. Marketing, basically what you want to know is that you want to know the customer, who gonna purchase our item, who are more likely to purchase our item, or who will purchase even though we don't do anything, or who will not purchase even though whatever we do. So you want to figure it out how the customers, how can you distinguish the different customers. So if you can do that, actually the marketing becomes pretty easy. So yeah, of course we cannot perfectly figure it out who will purchase, who will not, but if we can predict better than the just random guess, then we can make our marketing effort more efficient. Healthcare, basically, when we develop the very basic of the statistic application in healthcare is the drug development. Whenever we develop the drug or some new treatment, and how can we tell this new treatment or new drug is efficient enough? So we have to do the statistical experiment and then tell them, because all patients are different, the effect of the new treatment or the new drug is also all different. So you will have a bunch of different results. So how can we tell this is the better than the previous method or previous drug? We have to use statistics. Quality improvement, we already talked about the quality improvement. So quality control, because when we do something or producing something, actually the performance itself is also fluctuated. So every time you will get a slightly different outcome. So how can we improve our quality? The quality control, quality improvement is based on the statistics. Purchasing. So this example is more like the probability. The good food producer purchased a plastic container for the packaging. Inspection of most recent shipment of the 500 container found that 3 of containers are defective. The supplier historical defect rate is 0.005. Has the defective rate is really risen, or is simply the bad batch? So when you have to make a decision, or you have to, here this is not you cannot tell completely this one or that one, but you have to make a decision. Do we have to investigate even more, or this is still okay? Purchasing also has a problem, and actually in the supply chain or operations, we will use a statistical analysis. Medicine is I already explained in the healthcare, but operations management. So inventory or purchasing decision is highly rely on the forecasting, the customer's demand. Usually the operations management or inventory management, we consider the consumer demand or forecast the consumer demand as an input. However, if the forecasting is wrong, then all the inventory management or the operations management can be wrong. So it's highly rely on the accurate forecasting. So again, the forecasting is the predictive analytics. It's also part of the statistics. Product warranty. Also, you have to calculate what would be the possible warranty. So warranty is something like the insurance. So if something goes wrong, you have to pay a lot of money. So you want to figure it out how many of the claim we can have. So when we do a product warranty, actually since the warranty, a lot of customer will purchase your item. This is a pretty good marketing tool. But in the other side, since you give a warranty, if there is something goes wrong and you have to fix them or replace them. So actually that costs money. So if you cannot get the idea what will be the cost of the warranty claim, then you cannot easily provide the warranty here. So again, we need to use statistics. Statistical challenge. Is the technically currently or communication well? Is proactive? Has a broad outlook? Is flexible? Meet the deadline? Focus on the main problem? So there's a lot of different things, right? That's the ideal data analyst in the statistics. But I think the communication is one of the things we can easily overlook, because a lot of statisticians is good at mathematics and then study a lot, handling the bunch of numbers, but that numbers doesn't mean anything if you can communicate with others. Yeah, this is one of the easily overlooked the characteristic the statistician or data scientist should have. Imperfect data and the practical constraint. So some case you cannot collect the data, and data itself, the quality of data type and the quality of data, maybe you cannot control over. Okay, so you have to know what's the limitation, what kind of the quality of data you have. Depends on that, your analysis also has some kind of the problem. So some cases automobile test cannot use the real human subject, so we have to use a dummy or the kind of machine and sensor. But actually that's not exactly what the human injury kind of thing. So we want to do like a car crash test, and we want to know how people, if that crash happened, how the people will get injured or even death. But we cannot do the real test, so we have to use a dummy, some other method. But actually that is not exactly tells you how the human will get injured, right? So that's too risky, so you cannot get the real exact data, because you cannot do the same, you cannot replicate the same situation. Telephone survey cannot ask a female respond whether she has had an abortion. So when you want to know these kind of things, so maybe most of the people who actually have an experience, they will not say yes. This is a kind of sensitive question, so you cannot collect the high quality data in this kind of case. And you cannot test everybody for the certain HIV, but these days, like the COVID, you have to take a sample. You cannot test everybody here. So those of this is kind of the example, the quality of data can be restricted. You cannot full control over the data collection. Business ethics. This is not about the business ethics, the class, but when the treating customer, complying with the law, prohibited discrimination, or all of those kind of, this is the ethics when we do the business. And so we can talk about the ethical standard for the data analysis. We have to know what is the accepted procedure. So procedure is very important. Even though you do the really nice data analysis, when you collect the data, if you do some inappropriate procedure, then that's not the one you want to do, right? Maintain the data integrity, carry out accurate calculation. Also the report procedure, the protect the confidential information and so on. So actually this is the book I said, how to lie with the statistics. Without lying technically, actually you can lie with the statistics. So not to fooled by the statistics, so you actually what it means is that you can argue showing correct. Here the correct means it doesn't tell you the wrong information, but the presentation can give you the wrong impression. This is the problem. So we will see what kind of the example we can have in the chapter 3. So this is the book. It's an interesting book, but this is quite old book. So all the examples are quite old, out of date. But if you have time, and this is pretty cheap and then thin book. So how to lie with the statistics, even though you are not, manipulate the numbers, showing exactly the exact number, but depends on how you present that data. So you can give a totally different impression. So these days, nothing can be, actually, most of the important thing will be done in team. And a lot of the data analytics or the statistical analysis has a teamwork, because we need someone who are really good at statistics and math, who can handle the numbers in detail. And also we need some expert in the field expert, because when we got a number, if you don't understand what that number means exactly, or how the system is working, maybe you can conclude a pretty wrong conclusion. So usually we form a team, someone who are really good at numbers and someone who completely understands the system. And so a lot of different area experts get together and then trying to solve the problems. Using consultant, hiring consultant is happening a lot. At the beginning of the project, if you don't have enough expertise, then maybe you can hire the customer. But some companies expect their employee to be able to interpret the result. So even though the actual statistical analysis is done by our consultant, but at least some of the employee should be able to interpret what is the result. Otherwise, you can easily fooled by the presentation. As I told you, the book How to Lie the Statistics shows some examples is without showing the wrong number, with actually showing exactly the same number. Actually, you can manipulate what kind of impression the audience can have.